what would you say to those who are just kind of overly critiquing the film at this point? You've worked so hard on it.
Right here. You can get darn across. Hold on. Here. Hold on.
All right.
Yeah.
Weird.
Have they ever thought about maybe like a little bit of like, I don't know, vulnerability study, opposition research, that sort of thing, before you go and hire some Zoomer who's a lunatic?
Rachel Zegler, like so many kids raised on TikTok, she's all for infantata is the only global solution.
I truly do believe that. There's something wrong with her. She's disturbed, she's unhappy, and she thinks it's about feminism and the patriarchy and about abortion. But the reality is she's just not stable.
Behind the scenes, you guys know as well as I do that those executives like Spielberg are looking at that saying, Rachel Zegler can F right off.
Rachel is literally the star of a Disney movie, and she acts like she's some sort of victim, and that's the sort of mentality that is just poisoning people's minds. Like
saying that audiences will always line up to see her no matter what she does.
Every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
You know what's interesting about all of this is that the only person waiting in line to see Snow White was Rachel Zegler.
Now, I'm guessing that she's not married. I'm guessing that she doesn't have kids. The movie is a complete disaster, by the way.
Rachel Zegler has suddenly gone completely silent just days after reports emerged of a shocking legal battle between the actress and Disney. After the catastrophic box office failure of Snow White, multiple sources claim Zegler attempted to turn the tables on the studio with a surprise lawsuit, only to face a devastating defeat in court.
It sounds like you're one of the only ones there, just like Rachel Zegler, as it turns out, and we part with this video of Rachel Zegler alone in a theater watching herself. One of the most unlikable humans.
That is sadder than when the original Snow White.
Now she's vanished from the spotlight. No interviews, no social media, nothing. And the most shocking part? Insiders say she hopped on a plane and fled all the way to Dubai. What exactly is she running from? And what was she trying to protect with this desperate legal maneuver? The drama began months ago when Rachel Zegler's controversial press tour for Snow White started raising eyebrows across Hollywood. In viral clips that continue to haunt her career, she repeatedly dismissed the original 1937 classic, mocked the idea of true love, and seemed embarrassed to play the iconic princess.
I mean, you know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There is a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird. So we didn't do that this time.
In one particularly damaging interview, she boldly proclaimed, she's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
Shown here is not the actual woman playing Snow White, but the woman playing Snow White is named Rachel Zegler. And she and Gal Gadot, who plays the evil queen, were caught on the red carpet. This is actually from September of 2022, but it's resurfaced now because the movie's coming out, talking about what we should expect from Snow White.
You said you were bringing a modern edge to it on stage. What do you mean by that?
I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
Oh my God.
Nobody
Who wants a movie about true love? What kind of woman do we want out there seeking true love, Eliana? The outrage.
Fans were outraged, wondering why someone would accept a role they appeared to despise. The backlash intensified when footage surfaced of Zegler complaining about her compensation. Every hour I am in the outfit of Snow White wearing the dress all 18 hours, I deserve to be paid for every single one, she declared.
Every time she speaks, she gets less likable. There's some clip of her on the internet in her Snow White outfit saying, every hour I am in the outfit of Snow White wearing the dress. All 18 hours, I deserve to be paid for every single one. Oh, really? Are you having trouble paying your bills, Rachel? Did Steven Spielberg not pay you for your role in West Side Story? Did Disney fail to give you a healthy paycheck for, like, cry me a river. She's just exactly everything that we can't stand.
I'm going to stand there 18 hours in a dress of an iconic Disney princess. I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed online.
Seemingly tone deaf to how privileged her position was, as one critic bluntly put it, "Oh, really? Are you having trouble paying your bills, Rachel?" Did Steven Spielberg not pay you for your role in West Side Story? Did Disney fail to give you a healthy paycheck? Cry me a river. But the real disaster struck when Snow White hit theaters. The film flopped spectacularly, with projections showing Disney could lose between $120 to $250 million on what should have been a guaranteed hit.
To everyone who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
Audiences stayed away in droves while critics tore apart both the film and its seemingly ungrateful star. The contrast became even more painful when Minecraft, a movie based on pixelated blocks that critics expected to fail, obliterated Snow White at the box office, earning more in one weekend than Snow White managed in 3 weeks globally.
Minecraft in the United States in 1 weekend made more money than Snow White has made globally after 3 weekends.
Behind closed doors, Disney executives were reportedly furious. Sources claim they held emergency meetings specifically to discuss whether Rachel Zegler's controversial behavior had violated her contract. One insider reportedly heard an executive say she had burned down a billion-dollar brand with her own words.
You ever wonder what happens when you mix hot lava and chicken?
And no one in the room disagreed. The studio allegedly hired special media consultants to follow her during appearances, desperately trying to prevent further damage, but it was already too late.
Then inexplicably continued to post herself in an empty theater for her own movie. She's literally the only person there. Meanwhile, the experience at Minecraft goes something like this.
Chicken
That's when the legal drama reportedly began. According to multiple entertainment insiders, Zegler assembled a legal team to sue Disney in a shocking counteroffensive. Her alleged claims that Disney had set her up to fail created a toxic work environment and damaged her reputation by not protecting her from backlash.
And then they had to hire a special media consultant for her to follow her around all the time and make sure she didn't continue shitting on Snow White and the prince and young love and women who want to get married and Steven Spielberg, the executive producer of her previous movie, and white people who she claims wanted to know if she was really a Latina on her first movie.
She reportedly sought compensation for career damages and breach of implied agreements. Court documents supposedly showed her team arguing that Disney had unfairly scapegoated her for problems with the film's direction and marketing. But Disney's legal response was swift and overwhelming. The studio allegedly presented the court with extensive evidence of contract violations. From prohibited political statements during promotional activities to disparaging remarks about the source material she was contractually obligated to promote.
Alex, what has been the reaction to Disney's latest expensive own goal?
Well, the reaction has been absolutely horrible. It is the worst box office from a Disney live action remake that they've ever done.
I mean, they're projected to lose between $200 and $400 million on this.
They reportedly provided timestamps of interviews where she undermined the very product she was being paid millions to represent. When the case went before the judge, the ruling was devastating for Zegler. The court reportedly dismissed her claims entirely, finding that Disney had fulfilled all contractual obligations while Zegler had repeatedly violated the standard morality and promotional clauses that are standard in major studio contracts. Some legal experts who reviewed the case called it one of the most lopsided verdicts in recent entertainment law history. In the aftermath of this crushing legal defeat, Rachel Zegler has completely disappeared from public view. Her usually active social media accounts went dark, scheduled appearances were canceled without explanation, and her publicity team has stopped responding to media inquiries.
When I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her.
Then came the reports that she had fled to Dubai, a location strategically distant from Hollywood's gossip machine and the American media's reach. The timing of her disappearance raised even more questions. She vanished right after reports surfaced that Disney was considering further legal action, including potentially seeking compensation for damages to the Snow White brand. Some insiders suggest the studio might be pursuing negotiations to recoup some of their massive financial losses, with options including taking back performance bonuses or even requesting direct repayment for promotional damages.
Behind the scenes, you guys know as well as I do that those executives like Spielberg are looking at that saying, Rachel Zegler can F right off.
While Rachel hides from the fallout, the contrast with other Hollywood success stories couldn't be more stark. Minecraft, a movie critics dismissed as too simple and too childish, has become a cultural phenomenon.
Meanwhile, the experience at Minecraft goes something like this. Theaters reported such wild enthusiasm that some showings resembled rock concerts more than movie screenings, with security occasionally needed to manage overexcited fans. And the cops had to escort the rowdy teenagers out. The Minecraft movie is doing something magical. It's creating a live audience reaction event.
Jack Black, the film star, demonstrated exactly how to connect with an audience and honor source material. Lessons Zegler apparently failed to learn. Perhaps most telling is the critical versus audience split. While professional reviewers gave Minecraft a mediocre 40%, actual audiences awarded it an overwhelming 87% approval.
Encouraging to see a movie that decided to do the opposite of Snow White, which is, according to all available reviews, including from the people that I trust the very most on this platform.
Meanwhile, Snow White continued its death spiral at box offices worldwide, becoming one of Disney's most expensive mistakes in recent memory. Industry analysts point out the painful irony. If Disney had simply made a faithful adaptation of their original classic, they likely would have had another billion-dollar hit on their hands.
And so let's see how they fared against each other. The Minecraft movie breaks box office record with $300 million global opening, while woke Snow White slips again.
The legal battle's aftermath has been particularly brutal for Zegler's team. Insiders report that her carefully crafted apology statement was torn apart online, with social media users comparing it line by line to classic PR damage control templates. The consensus? It wasn't even her words, just another corporate script crafted by Disney's legal department in a failed attempt to salvage both reputations. Instead of easing the backlash, the statement only intensified public skepticism. Behind the scenes, sources close to Zegler claim she's completely devastated, reportedly breaking down multiple times as she watches her once promising career collapse in real time. Not long ago, she was positioned to be the new face of Disney, with potential spin-offs, brand deals, and international campaigns all lined up.
The producers, far left-wing activists in Hollywood, are turning on her, and Disney has canceled all of Rachel Zegler's appearances on their media platforms. Kind of tough.
Industry insiders were calling her the next big thing. Now her team is allegedly fractured, with some advisors pushing for a bold comeback while others recommend years of silence to let the storm pass, if it ever does. The contrast in fates couldn't be more dramatic. While Zegler hides overseas after losing her legal battle, Minecraft continues its global domination, delighting audiences and raking in profits.
It got destroyed at the box office. Here's the box office numbers. The Minecraft movie made $60 million on Saturday. Snow White made $2 million.
One film delivered fun and stayed true to its roots. The other tried to fix a beloved classic, lectured its audience, and suffered one of the most spectacular failures in recent Hollywood history, both on screen and in court. So, what happens next? Will Rachel Zegler bounce back from this devastating legal defeat, or is her Disney dream permanently shattered? Will the studio pretend none of this ever happened, or are they preparing for round 2 in the courtroom to recover their 9-figure losses? One thing's certain, Rachel Zegler's silence speaks volumes, and this Hollywood legal drama is far from over. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and if you want more uncensored updates on Hollywood's biggest legal battles and behind-the-scenes chaos, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell because this story is just getting started.